What if the greatest stories ever told were actually coded messages meant to warn us about dangers we still face today? Greek mythology is far more than entertaining tales of gods and heroes. These ancient stories were sophisticated teaching tools, packed with symbolism and hidden meanings. The Greeks didn't just create fantasy for entertainment. They encoded real wisdom about human nature, society, and the eternal struggles we all face. And nowhere is this more evident than in Homer's Odyssey, specifically in the names of the suitors who plague Odysseus's household. Let's travel back to ancient Greece, around the 8th century before the Common Era. Homer, the legendary poet, crafted the Odyssey as a sequel to the Trojan War saga. But here's what most people miss. The names in Greek mythology aren't random. Each name carries specific meaning, revealing layers of truth that translations simply cannot capture. To truly understand the Odyssey, we need to decode these names in their original Greek. Odysseus returns home after 20 years of war and wandering. He finds his palace overrun by suitors, men who consume his wealth and pursue his faithful wife, Penelope. On the surface, it's a story about a hero reclaiming his home. But look deeper. Odysseus represents every person fighting to protect what matters most: homeland, family, dignity, and hard-earned achievements. The suitors aren't just greedy men. They're symbolic enemies of human freedom and well-being. Let's meet the first and most dangerous suitor, Antinous. In Greek, his name is Antinous, which breaks down beautifully. Nous means mind or intellect. Anti means against. Antinous literally means the one who opposes mindfulness and critical thinking. This is why Odysseus kills him first, with an arrow through the throat, through the instrument of speech and communication. Antinous represents those who enslave minds through propaganda and manipulation. He's the corrupted media, the false information, the twisted narratives that prevent people from thinking clearly. Homer understood that mental slavery is the most dangerous form of control. If you can control how people think, you control everything. The second major suitor is Eurymachus, spelled Eurymachos in Greek. His name means the one who fights using any means necessary, without honor or limitations. He's the opponent who cheats, who uses dirty tactics, who has no ethical boundaries. Sound familiar? Eurymachus symbolizes those who exploit every loophole and use any weapon, fair or foul, to gain advantage over others. Then there's Amphinomus, or Amphinomus in Greek. His name reveals another insidious enemy, the one who changes laws or twists their meanings to serve his interests. He manipulates legal systems, reinterprets rules whenever convenient, and uses the very structures meant to protect people as weapons against them. In modern terms, think of corrupt officials who bend regulations to benefit themselves while claiming to uphold justice. The fourth major suitor is Agelaus. His name means the one who pulls or controls the public. Agelaus is the master manipulator, the one who uses brainwashing techniques to make crowds believe lies. He works hand in hand with Antinous, combining propaganda with public manipulation. Together, they represent a complete system of mental control. Now here's where it gets really powerful. Homer wasn't writing about ancient problems that disappeared millennia ago. He was identifying eternal threats to human freedom and dignity. Different times, same problems. The enemies Odysseus fights are the same enemies we face today. We battle against those who manipulate information and control narratives. We struggle against those who fight without ethics or honor. We resist those who corrupt legal systems for personal gain. We oppose those who manipulate public opinion through sophisticated psychological tactics. Odysseus isn't just a mythical king. He's the common person fighting for a decent life. He represents anyone who refuses to surrender their home, their family, their dignity, or their freedom to those who would take it. His battle isn't about glory or conquest. It's about reclaiming what's rightfully his and protecting what he loves. The genius of Homer's symbolism is that it transcends time. The Odyssey teaches us to recognize our real enemies, not other nations or different peoples, but the universal forces that threaten human well-being. Mental enslavement, unethical manipulation, legal corruption, public deception. These are the suitors in every generation's palace. So the next time you hear the Odyssey dismissed as just another old story, remember this. Homer gave us a manual for recognizing and fighting the enemies of human freedom. The suitors' names are warnings encoded in Greek, waiting for those willing to study and understand. And Odysseus's victory reminds us that with courage, intelligence, and determination, we can reclaim what's ours and defend what matters most.